Can you guys hear me? Hello? Can you, is there sound coming through? Let me move this over here. I've only done like a couple of these lives. No sound? We can't hear you. Okay. Maybe. Give me a second. Oh, okay. Okay, good. Maybe it just took a while for the sound to come through. Awesome. Cool. I haven't done that many live streams, so I scheduled this one because I know the last one, people were like, "Oh, you should give us more notice." So, cool. I'm glad that you guys can hear me and it's working out. Yeah. So, pretty much, I got. First of all, thank you all for everyone that entered into my contest. I appreciate that more than you know. So I don't know if I'll win. Who knows? It's up to the judges. Actually, the voting is just like it helps, but it ultimately comes down to what the judges think. So, I mean, thank you, but it might sway their opinion, but it comes down to what they think. So that would really help me out. Yeah. So I mean, the reason why it took me so long was I'll show you. I got 600 emails from people, and I had to basically take the emails and put them on a list and give them a number. And there's about a 10 to 15 second lag time between what you see on your screen versus what we see on your phones and computers. There's a 10 to 15 second delay. Oh, shoot. I don't know how to fix that delay. No lag on my end. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, so I think YouTube has a lag. So actually, when I'm actually speaking, the words I'm actually coming out of my mouth currently, you guys actually won't see for like 10 or 15 seconds. So it's almost like the chat is like 10 to 15 seconds behind of what I have. But awesome, no lag. Thanks. But yeah, so I got like 600 emails, and so I had to take each one by one and put them on a sheet, give it a number order, and so that took literally forever. So, and I have a bunch of other stuff going on, so that's why it took me so time. I'll give you. Let's see if I can show. Hold on, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll show you. I don't want to really reveal too many people's emails, but I'll give you a brief look. So it looks like this. Everyone has a number and an email, and if you enter it in multiple times, you got multiple entries. So that's kind of like what is why it took so long. And it just so happened I finished, and I'm like, I'm gonna do the live stream and give it away, and I also hit 3,000 subs. So thank you. Kind of like. It kind of worked out. But for all of you don't know, I'll take it out of sleep. This is up for the giveaway. I thought it was pretty cool. I bought this months ago in anticipation for the giveaway. So it's been sitting on my desk for quite a while. A lot of people asked if I've already done it and whatnot, and so I apologize for being late. But yeah, I've been busy. I've been, working on our new album. I produce everything and write everything. And then on top of that, the band was, thank you. And then on top of that, the band decided to book a gig where I have to learn 56 songs. So on top of that, I have work. And my brother, my business partner, he went out of town. So I had to take over double duty. So yeah, so I apologize for everything. But how are you guys doing tonight? Yeah, it was awesome. That I was so surprised how many emails I got from people entering. But yeah, so yeah, we'll pick a winner. I have this little website brought up that kind of picks a random person. Thank you, Yo Kid Collector. I remember that email. There was someone named Kid Collector. I don't know if it's the same person. But yeah. Um, yeah, I know. 56 songs. Yeah, it's yeah, I know. Well, we have 20 originals, and so those, but a lot of them I haven't played in years. I went to a wedding 2-3 weeks ago, and and my friend was getting married and it was in Hawaii, and he played my song and then he wanted me to sing it, and I totally blanked. I didn't even know the words. I'm like, dude, I wrote this song 6 years ago. I have literally haven't played it in forever. So I'm going through all my old songs trying to relearn them. Thankfully, I took pretty good notes, and then I'm doing a bunch of covers and stuff like that. So we're gonna be playing for over 3 hours straight at like a bar. So yeah, it's crazy. You guys have been like super amazing in this growth of this channel. So it's been crazy getting up to 3,000. My goal, I have very big goals usually. My goal is to hit 10,000 subs at my year anniversary, which will be in February of 2022. I don't know if I can do it. Who knows? But maybe. So we'll see. I'm songwriter too. Hoping to record my album this year. That's awesome. Is it your first album? All you guys songs. All the songs that are on Love Angeles, my band, those are all originals. But at this show that we have to do, where we have to do 3 hours straight, I don't have 3 hours material unless I've looped it around. So there are going to be some covers. Just finished watching your video on Super Mario Brothers today. Yeah, it was insane. Which is crazy because I just did a video 2 days before that about the Zelda hitting a record price of 870,000. The 1.5 million on that Mario, I would consider. There's something up. It's just Heritage. Heritage is like, my dad used to work for them, and they definitely buy back their stuff to boost sales, to get on like TV and stuff like that. And I'm 100% sure that they bought Hershey Squirts. They definitely buy their own stuff from themselves. Like my dad said, the president is like one of the biggest comic collectors in the world, because he literally just buys everything from Heritage and buys it back from himself. I should hit 10K before the 1 year anniversary. I hope so. I definitely appreciate all you guys. It's been crazy that there's so many people out there. Like actually, my cousin, he is doing a cabinet business. His name is Cabinet Wise on YouTube, and I convinced him to do YouTube. Let me link his thing. I don't know if you guys are into this stuff. Hold on, let me get. But my cousin, I'm an entrepreneur, and so like I love other entrepreneurs. It's just because that's what I do. And he's been in the cabinet business for making cabinets. He makes really good stuff. He lives in the Bay Area, so he's too far away from me. Let me give a link. I think this is his channel page. Sign into chat. This is. Won't let me say anything, but let me, actually this, I can just do this. There's his, I'm just giving a shout out to my cousin. He's starting his own business. I convinced him to start a YouTube. His name's Cabinet Wise. He makes cabinets. I told him like, dude, this would be a good thing. It'll get your name out there, because right now he works for someone and he's going to start his own business. He's moving to Idaho and stuff. So, if you guys just you're into people building stuff. So, yeah, hold on. PSL. Where's PSL, Florida? I've been to Florida a couple times. Went to Miami, Fort Lauderdale. So where do my grandparents live? Somewhere over there also. Yeah, Mario 64 isn't rare. It is not rare. In fact, let me look up. I bet you anything. All right, here we go. Look how unrare Mario 64 is. It was the number one 64 game. 12 million units sold. So it was the number one best-selling game. I loved GoldenEye, by the way. Number one best-selling game. So whoever bought that is just, there's something going on. It's not real. Like, it can't be. And it just sucks that whatever, Heritage is like how they are. North. Cool. You guys have a lot of alligators? That's all I had alligator when I was there. It was all right. Yeah, South Austin, San Antonio. My dad lives in Plano, Texas, which is near Dallas. Now I can see Rev 1 LOLs in perfect condition going for a tidy sum. What is Rev 1 lols? All right, so I will pick the winner. So in case some of you are just trying to hang out for the winner, Pensacola, GoldenEye was the best. I will pick a winner, and then so whoever's just hanging around to see who won, and then I will continue to hang out and chat with you guys for a bit. But yeah, so let's jump into the winner. Here we go. I can just minimize me. All right. So between 1 and 58, that's how many people were. Portland, Oregon. Hey, I used to work in Jansen Beach at Copeland Sports at the skate shop. I built skateboards for kids. I think it's now a Big Five or something. I don't know. Yeah, so I will roll this little spinner thing, and whoever picks it will look at the little list here, that little list, and I'll pick the winner. I will then send them out an email. Let's see if I can hide their name, or not their name. I just don't, want everyone seeing these emails. How do I? Maybe I can move them. Oh no. Let me do this. Okay, I don't know. Whatever. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna spin this thing. And then once again, thank you for everyone that entered. It means a lot. It really does. And like music is like my passion, my dream. I moved to California to do music when I moved out on my own. So I've been doing it this whole time. I'm not famous. I'm not even close. But it just means a lot because I love doing music. So, all right. So here we go. Let's pick oh, that's an awkward, terrible sound. Ugh. All right. Number 91. Number 91 is the winner. And number 91 is 91 is Todd Pitcher or whatever. If you see a bunch of ones like this, those are the people that entered in multiple times, so they got a bunch of entries all at once. So Todd Pitcher. I don't know if I'm saying that, but you are the winner. Where did I go? There I am. So Todd, I will email to you if you are not on currently, and you are the winner of this book. So I will send the person Todd an email, and he will get the book. I'll send him an email. All I need is your address. I'll pay for shipping and all that kind of stuff. Once again, thank you for everyone that entered, and thank you, Todd. I don't know if Todd's on, but I'm gonna try to do more giveaways in the future. I think it's kind of fun. I like doing these live streams too, and so, but yeah, I'll definitely I'll send it out. If for some reason Todd doesn't respond or whatever, I'll redo it or whatever. I'll give him ample time. He has 2 seconds to respond to my email. No, I'm joking. I'll give him like multiple days. Just hide the email column. Yeah, I was a little late for that. Whoops. I'm busy looking for N64 games. I only have one video game. I have two. I don't know where my other one is, but it's in a box somewhere. But they're not sealed. They're not anything. I have Battle Olympus for Nintendo, which was my all-time favorite game. I love that game. All right, good night, Kid Collector. And Metroid. Metroid and Battle Olympus are my two favorite games for the NES. Love those games. I used to write codes when I was a kid in them on like a piece of paper, and I still have that piece of paper with the codes. I'm gonna put it in the back. But good luck with music awards. Thank you, everyone. But yeah, do you guys have any questions for me or any comments or anything you want me to talk about? Live giveaways with the chat is more fun. Yes, it is. That's what. Yeah, I like doing this. Yeah, it's definitely much more entertaining than just saying who won. So anytime I do a giveaway, I'll definitely do it like this, where it's a live thing. Yes, this Friday, the 16th, 4 p.m., I believe. Where did you get my new comic stand? This little guy? Search high and low for one. I got an Etsy. I haven't even used it yet. But yeah, I the metal one was just a temporary thing that, like, before I even started my channel, I was like, oh, I should get a stand, you know. And I literally just kept it for a long time. I trade you a 64 Mario 64, your gobbledygook issue on your wall. Is it sealed 9/8? Then yes. That's true. I mean, that's true. I only have a one of a kind. I could get a Mario 64 anywhere. There's what did I say, 12 million copies made. So 12 million, that's ridiculous. Someone made a comment about how that's like saying that a Todd McFarlane Spider-Man #1 in whatever grade you want, 10.0, right, or 9.8 is worth 1.5 million because they made like 5 or 7 millions of that copy. They actually made more Mario ones. The people at Heritage, if someone actually bought that and it wasn't like a sketchy shill fake thing, they're an idiot. I'm sorry. They are an idiot. Whoever, Todd stole my dreams. Whoever bought that Mario $1.5 million, they're a moron. I'm like, you kidding me? Just look it up. Like, Heritage owns WADA, the grading company, and that's why they also don't list VGA games. You ever know that? VGA is another company that's been grading games way before WADA. I think it's called VGA or VG something, and that's why they don't have VG games on there, because that's a direct competitor. WADA is owned by Heritage, and but where's your favorite key? What is your favorite key to write in? Favorite key to write in. I'm not sure what that means. Current take on the comic market price. I actually have another video coming out with a little kind of like that. Oh man, I got so swept up on the Mario thing that I forgot to release it. It was supposed to be Monday, but whoops. Current market. People have been seeing like a lot of dips, and I released that video that showed the dips, obviously. But there's actually books that have been going up, and a lot of people think like, oh my gosh, I had a Spider-Man 361 First Carnage, and it dropped like 40-50%. I've actually seen like Conan 23 has been on the rise a lot. Other books that were on the rise that have kind of slowed down. Ghost Rider, first Ghost Rider Marvel Spotlight 5 hasn't dropped off like the rest of them, like a lot of the other keys. So I think it's like people think the market's dead, but what it is like I think a lot of people got money in these huge pops and then unloaded them. And that's why I always say you have to go with like blue chip, because they have like such a strong base to them that when they do drop, There's going to be people like me and other investors and other collectors that are like, oh my gosh, a Fantasy 15 for like 10K cheaper than it was like 6 months ago. Yeah, I'll get that. So, yeah. So, but the profit, the percentage is a lot lower. Like 10 grand on a $50,000 book. That's significant, but not as much as like, dropping in half of a Spider-Man 361. What's your favorite book in your PC that you bought for under $10? Hold on. Where is it? Yep. I can't seem to locate my under $10 favorite PC thing. Not sure where it is, but I'll show it next time. I thought it was over there, but I must be mistaken. Pick me, please. It was probably Eminem. Funny business going on. Just someone saying money laundering. Yeah, water's so sketchy. If they release pop reports, I can't trust them. Yeah. Here's the thing: it's like when you have a auction company, and then you buy a bunch of video games, and then buy the video game grading company, and then sell those video games. You don't think that's sketchy and conflict of interest? That's super sketch. Imagine if I owned a grading company. I mean, I would never do this, but they're a corporation. Corporations are heartless. They only care about money, which is fine, but just know that going in, that Heritage only cares about money. They're not run by a single person. They're run by an entity. And so if they figure out a way, that's why they don't have VGA up there, because they don't want their competitor up there. So, yeah. Yeah. They had an announcement. Heritage had an announcement it was on WATA's website for a while when WATA first started. So this is what I think happened, right? Heritage needed a new source of income. Not that they're poor, but that's what they do. They're a corporation, so they need to find a new source. They saw that the video game market was booming, and by booming, nothing compared to it is now. They bought up probably a ton of sealed video games, and they realized this will be the market of where it's going to go. They bought up a ton of sealed video games. WATA already existed before, so did VGA, but WATA was a nothing company, really nothing. They bought WATA, probably who knows how much, bought WATA, had WATA grade all their video games. They then pumped the crap out of them by their first one. Hey, Frankie. They pumped the crap out of them by what they did is they bought from themselves. They bought a Mario NES, normal Nintendo video game from themselves. So they literally, so it could get on the news and, a video game. So I think it was like 250,000 or 300,000. And then that was the spark. Then they released all their video games on their website, and they probably shill bidded them up. So it's like, look, video games going for 5, 10, 20, 30 grand, right? All this kind of stuff, 100 grand. Some of the sales are probably going to be legit people, like investors thinking this is the new wave. And so they're constantly bidding up things a new high. So people get scammed into thinking that it's actually worth what it is. Because these other people buying, Heritage has a lot of rich old people and people that aren't in the know. They're not going to know video games. Are you kidding me? And they purposely don't have a census, so you can't look up to see how many it is. So, yeah, it's crazy. It's super unethical, and it's like a lot of these people that are buying these video games are going to get burned very quickly because I watched this guy for years. His name's Pat, the NES Punk. He's on YouTube. He's been on it since like the beginning. And he would always talk about sealed games. This is before Heritage even sold them. And he showed one video of a guy who literally collected distribution boxes of NES video games. A distribution box came with like 6. So like if you're a Target, you'd buy a couple cases like of 6 each, and then you sell them. And yeah, he showed videos of this guy, this like cases of like stadium events, which is supposed to be super rare. And he literally has like 36 sealed copies of this. At the time, it was like, a $10,000 video game. Now it's like a $50,000 video game. So that guy is like sitting on a gold mine, literally on the oil field. It's just crazy. But yeah, these, and you can even see, and so like my friends sent in a bunch of video games to get graded, and they take like a year to get back. And so I think Heritage is purposely slowing down other people getting their stuff graded so they can pump out all their stuff as much as possible. Because I think they bought all these video games for like 3-4 years ago, maybe, and they started stockpiling them, and then, just slowly unload them and get like, 30, 50, 100x on your money. I'm interested in Giant Size X-Men #1 and many Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles graded books. I'm holding back most of my Turtles. I have a couple second printings. I don't have any first printings. I'm holding back a lot of Giant Size X-Men's and Hulk 181s. Should I pay a crazy price for mid-grade X-Men 180 or Hulk 181? I'm personally, like, you've seen a couple of my videos, I'm sure, where I'm holding back Hulk 181s. I'm not releasing them into the wild. I am massively specking on that book, even though it's not much of a spec. Konnichiwa. I took Japanese in high school, actually, and in college. Yeah, I think it's a safe bet. If you can try to find a decent deal. I wouldn't pay a crazy price for it, but pay a decent price. Maybe wait for one in an auction or something where you can get like a decent deal. Like I did a video where you can literally save 10 to 30 to 40% just getting one in auction. So try to get one in auction. But yeah, I think it's a good, if you have the means and you want to hold it for a long time, I would get it. Cool that you worked in Jansen Beach. I'm in Vancouver right now. Prairie High School. That's where I went. Battleground High School was our rival. I went to Prairie High. I lived in Vancouver. I drive over to work in Jansen Beach. I went to Clark Community College. Let's see. Who is this? Massas. Yeah, I went to Clark Community College. In Washington, I don't know if they still do, but they have a program called Running Start where instead of doing your senior year of high school, you can go to community college instead and then graduate high school with an AA degree, and it's all paid through the state. So I did that. But yeah, I went to Prairie High. I graduated in 2003. Sounds unethical, almost like in any industry. Yeah, that's true. Sorry, I'm going back and trying to answer everyone's questions. Yeah, I mean most businesses are. I mean, what's the saying? You don't get rich by you don't get rich unless you're stepping on a few backs or something like that. I don't know, something like that. I'm saving for the Giant Size X-Men 1 instead of smaller keys. Good idea. I know it's Ghost Rider Volume 2, number 15, new sounds for $300. I bought 44 copies new when they came out. Jeez, what is Ghost Rider Volume 2, 15? Is that... You're talking about Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider, because there's the Western Ghost Rider from the 60s, I'm assuming. So you're talking... Or are you talking... what was the other guy's name? Was it Dan something? Or is Dan later? I can't remember all the Ghost Riders. I know there's the Latino one. Blanking on his name. Reyes. And then there's Dan something, I think. There's Johnny Blaze. I forget the Western one. Yeah. I forget. Comic Journey will die out. Comic Journey will die out. Very few in the game. What's the name of your store you sell books under? Collectorscomics.com. Mr. David Samuelson. I'm David Wilson. Very close. Sucks that 361 dropped in price. I have 10 copies of CGC now, but it's okay. I bought them off the newsstand or grocery store when they were released. I have a bunch sitting at CGC. I just looked at the turnaround times. 150 business days. That is 6 months. And I'm like, good Lord. And if you even pay for it to be faster, it's not much faster. It like saves you like a couple days. But yeah, When did that book come out? 92? I remember going to Comic Cons and I would get like the Wizard. Wizard used to have a magazine because Overstreet Price Guide would come out once a year. Wizard would come out like either weekly or monthly. I can't remember. And I remember that book was really expensive back then, even sometimes more than Spider-Man 300, Venom, because Carnage was super popular then. I was a kid then, so yeah, mid 90s. That was like the golden age of comic collecting in terms of that's when everyone collected comics. Where's the winner? He should be here. Yeah, I don't know. Must be asleep or something. Because right now it's 8:30 my time, so if you're East Coast, it's 11:30. Do you think it's smart move to pick up 180? I would pick up 180 over 182. Talking about Hulk. But if you can pick up a 181, pick up a 181. You can't go wrong with Wolverine. It's night here. Yeah. Did a local trade for my 181. Highly suggested trying to do trades for one. They're drying up out here. Yeah, I think a lot of people are holding. So when I used to look on like eBay and stuff like that, there would be a ton up for sale for like Hulk 181s and different keys, and a lot of people are holding back. And that's the reason why the prices are so huge, is because people aren't selling. Like, look at me. I would normally sell all these Hulk 181s, but I've been buying them up for years. I literally looked at one of my oldest ones I bought, and I've been holding back. I paid like $350 for. It's a low grade, but still, it's like Jesus. I went to Ridgefield. Okay, yeah, I was in wrestling. We wrestled Ridgefield. I speak 13 languages so far. I'd like to send you a couple American comics in Japanese if you'd like. I can't read Japanese, but I mean, this was like 20 years ago, almost. Jesus, I've gotten old. But I don't know barely any of the words anymore. But yeah, if you want to, I'm down. I'm specking on Red Hood. Thoughts? Red Hood. That was one of the best DC animated films I watched. Under the Red Hood. Oh, I love that one. That one and Flashpoint Paradox. Those are my favorites. Justice League Doom is also good. I watch every single one of those animated movies. Now that I have HBO Max, I usually wait for them to come out on HBO Max. Red Hood. I love the character, Jason Todd. You know the story of how they killed him off? They weren't sure if people actually liked Jason Todd. So in one of the comic books, they had a phone number that you could call. And I think one phone number was if you want Jason Todd to live, and another one was if you want him to die. And they think that someone really hated him and just called the number a bunch because the having him killed off like barely won. They barely won. And so that's how they killed him off. And he was dead until, the Red Hood. Thoughts? I mean, if you want to, comic value is tied to hype, supply and demand. That's what I always say. And demand naturally goes up when a movie or a TV show is coming out with that character in it. I do not see the Red Hood anytime soon. They're coming out with the Robert Pattinson Batman. I'll watch it, but that guy. He said Robert Pattinson. He said, I don't want to work out. His trainer was like, dude, you need to work out. And like he took some time off and like didn't work out at all and got skinny, and they had to refit his suit because he didn't want to work out. And I'm like, dude, you're a superhero. Big and buff, come on. And he said something like, I'm an actor. My performance speaks for itself. And it's like, but if you're playing a character, like, and the character looks a certain way, and I don't care how well you act, it's stupid. It makes me mad. I mean, at least Ben Affleck. I like Ben Affleck's Batman. I think he had a terrible script and a terrible story that he had to deal with, but I liked the brutal, like gritty Batman. Like I like that. That was cool. I like Christian Bale's Batman was a little more detective-y. I didn't like Val Kilmer or George Clooney. Michael Keaton is all right. I really like Michael Keaton as Vulture. That's one of the best parts. I thought of that Spider-Man movie. Dan Ketch. What did I say? Danny or Denny? Dan? Did I say Dan? I can't even remember anymore. But yeah, Dan Ketch. Thank you. I knew I was close somewhere in there. I took 3 years of Nihongo in high school myself. Nihongo is Japanese. But that was 30 years ago, and I've forgotten all. You and me are in the same boat. It's blind man. I worked at McDonald's in Battleground. One of the guys I wrestled with was the manager at that McDonald's. That's crazy. I don't remember his name. He had frosted tips. That was very popular when I was going to school. I even shaved my head and bleached it like Eminem. I went to Clark College as well. Yeah. Western Ghost Rider on a horse. Yeah, he was called the Phantom, I believe, before. I think the Phantom Rider, I think it was called. He was actually appeared in Tim Holt comics. It wasn't affiliated with Marvel. Marvel must have bought the character or bought the rights to the character. I don't have a clever YouTube, aka sorry. I don't know. Matthew Fox. Hey man, great content. Are you the Matthew Fox that is in that TV show? Was it Party 5 and then Lost? Right? Is that the guy's name? Matthew Fox? Wizard was monthly. Thank you. Yeah. What do you think of the promotion of Matt Nelson as president? The presser? He's now the president. I talked to the other president. Like, I did a video. I got banned. I don't remember the president's name at the time, but I hated that guy. So Matt Nelson, I mean, I do not know him personally. I maybe met him when I was younger. I still feel like the 90s era comics are my favorite. Somewhat agree. I think the 90s was cool because they pushed the envelope. I don't think they were tied to the comics code, and I know that kind of drifted away probably in like the 80s or so. But they became more adult, and I liked more gritty. I would have to say the art today is better only because we have like modern technology, to a degree. But there's still some really good artists that I love, like Bill. I'm gonna mess up his name. I follow him on Instagram, and everyone gets mad at me. Sinskevich, I don't know. I mess it up. People correct me every single time, and I always forget. So, Bill, whatever. He did New Mutants. He did Elektra. He did a really cool picture that I want the original art to. Dazzler, what was it? San Diego Comics. Let me find this one. Where is it? Here we go. Dazzler. Hey. Dazzler 30. So this, I want this art by him. She's roller skating in San Diego. I like that cover a lot. I love his art. His art is so good. The only one that I love more is Jacques, who does that. I love it. So I actually have this one here. This right here. This is my favorite artist. Okay, trying to get through all these questions. Monthly 90s era. What is the portrait on the wall behind you? I thought it was Elon at first. It is Elon Musk. That is Elon Musk. I got it from my brother for Christmas. It's Elon Musk in like a Napoleon Admiral thing. It's cool. I'm a huge Elon Musk fan. So yeah, I mean that's what people just get me. It's like. If you want to get me some, I've got like Elon Musk socks, hats. Like, these people, like, they know I like Elon. So, like, my brothers and stuff give me that for like birthdays and Christmas. Do you think that it will take our comics to CGC and cement them to Comic Cons if they will come back faster. So if you go to the Comic-Con and submit them, I have no idea. I've never done it through it that way. I remember saving everything I could to kid to grab a Spider-Man 5. I worked for my dad really, really, really hard for a long time to get a Spider-Man 6. Wizards such a good magazine. I buy them all. The cool thing about Wizards, they had like cool artists at the time draw the covers. Thoughts on a CGC sale? Yeah, I did a video on it. Half $1 billion. I mean, if Blackstone wants to offer me, a fraction of that, I'll gladly take it. So, hello, comic investor. I have a question. Third print Spider-Mans, are those good to investment like Marvel Tales Spider-Man? Third print Marvel Tales. I'm assuming you mean, are you talking about the Marvel Tales from like the 70s and 80s? I don't know if they had multiple printings of those. Printings, I mean, they can be rare. Like there's a Hulk 377 that's a third print that's more rare. But I don't know. It's about the demand. I don't know how much demand there is for these Marvel Tales. Most underrated comic. I haven't the slightest idea. I mean, are you underrated in terms of price? Then I'm going that Mario #1. If you mean like spec, like I mean I've been telling people about it since I started this YouTube channel. Mario #1 by Valiant, and it is. And I did a video on it how I tried to bid on one, and the 98 now sells for $3,100. I used to pick them up for like $600, and I saved them all. I have them all. I have like 30 copies. Ghost Rider came out in the 90s. Yeah, I have 44 newsstands with glow-in-the-dark cover, 2 are CGC and printed. I have a couple of Ghost Rider Volume 2s from the 90s one as well. I bought a collection, and I got like 50 copies of them. I pieced them out in auctions over time, but I still have a bunch left. Ben is my favorite Batman. Oh, Ben Affleck. I was like, Ben, his name's Bruce. Yeah, I liked him. I liked that gritty Batman. It was definitely cool. Act like someone in their peak physical shape. Most overrated comic. Most overrated comic. I don't know. I mean, I'll say some things. I'll get some hate. I think of all the Batmans have faithfully depicted versions Batman through the ages. Yeah, they definitely have. All the Batmans have. Do you sing lead vocals for band? Yes, I do. I sing and write all the stuff. Dan Gable. My second cousin went to... Who's Dan Gable? I'm Googling Dan Gable. Freestyle wrestler. Oh, okay. I haven't wrestled in so long. That's what you're referring. Unless there's another Dan Gable. Too many gimmicks in the 90s. Yes, there was a lot of gimmicks. But it's kind of charming now that you look back. Like, you got the die card covers. Then you got the covers that, like, open in half. And then you get posters inside. And then you get it, like, you got the chrome covers. Lots of chrome. Chrome everywhere. Then the holographic covers. I mean, I collected cards. And so you got to get the holographic one. Thank you. Thank you, Jose, for your kind words. Yes, Marvel Tales, Spider-Man, some of the 70s and 80s. Overrated Spawn 1 as far as price. It goes for overrated Spawn. It goes for 9.8. Spawn 1 definitely has a high print run, so. Oh, thank you. Sam Witchism, listening to Scenic Room Mars. Thank you. Yeah. Those are my dogs that were drawn on that cover. How many books do I own? Like all of them? Even like the books that are like a penny? $10,000, $12,000 comics probably. But I have like a lot of comics that are worth like nothing, like literally nothing. I have like coverless books. I have like I have a I literally have a long box of Casper the Ghost, but like way later in like the 80s, and there's like multiple copies of tons of them. Like Casper the Ghost, like 194, and it's like okay, that's like $2 book, like you know. But I have a bunch of that stuff. Hollow covers, found a Blue Arrow Wolverine in the dollar bin. Was a good flip. Ooh, I think I know what you're talking about. That is good. Do you install the boards on your wall behind you? Yes, I did. I did. Thank you for noticing. That was a lot of work. But yeah, I did that, and I also built this door right there. That gray door. I built that door. But I built the door and I built the wall. Basically, those I just stained them and painted them. Some of them, like the white ones you see, I painted, and then I took a sander and sanded it down to kind of give it like that look. And then I nailed them up all up there. So yeah, that was fun. It was one thing that I didn't realize at the beginning, but I realized like within like 5 minutes, you have to paint the wall behind you black, because if you don't, there's little knots in the wood, little circles, and they'll show through, and then you'll have, whatever the wall color was behind it. Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of one of the things I was thinking about making a video. I get a lot of questions, a lot of the same questions on some videos, and so I'm thinking about maybe after like the day after I post a certain video, maybe I'll do a video answering all those some books I'd like to sell for $2. Yeah. I'll probably do like videos answering like the most common questions and stuff like that. But yeah, one of building doors takes skill. Well, it's not quite what you think. I maybe led on to a little more. The door, wherever it is, the door was a normal door. I built that frame that's around it, the squares and stuff like that. So I did not build the door from scratch. So yeah, but I built the frame around it and on both sides and things like that. And then I had to the actual door frame I actually had to shave down because the door became thicker. Favorite comic in my PC would be that right there. The Gobbledygook. That's my favorite. It's Kevin Eastman's personal copy, which, by the way, he signs for free. He doesn't charge $2 million. And here's my opinion. I'm going to throw it out here. Kevin Eastman is much more, or the characters he created are much more popular than anything Rob Liefeld has created. And yes, I know he created Deadpool. The Turtles are much more popular than Deadpool. Much more. I would put the Turtles up there with Batman and Superman. And I know I'm going to get a lot of no's, but yes. The Turtles have had an ongoing cartoon since they pretty much started. The whole time. Once one ended, another one started. They've had multiple movies. They've had CGI movies. They've had cartoon movies. Multiple comic series. They've been running the whole time. They are definitely up there with Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman. And they're above Deadpool. And Kevin Eastman does it for free. He also does drawings for free. Drawings for free. Let me see if I can do this. Hold on. I'm going to get this up. Hopefully this will show. Let me cancel this. I'm going to show you what Kevin Eastman did for free. No, that's not it. Here we go. All right. This is, sorry, I don't have a good video of it, but this is Kevin Kevin Eastman and Freddie Williams both doing drawings for free. This is all for free at one of their signings. It's a sped up film, but Kevin Eastman did the turtle there, and Freddie Williams is doing the other turtle on the other side, and they each won. So Kevin Eastman did whatever, it's the right hand side, and Freddie Williams is doing the other one for free. They did this for free. On top of that, they also did a Batman. Kevin Eastman did a Batman. So, and Robert Liefeld you have to pay $100 for just a little signature. And Kevin Eastman does all that for free. See the difference? See what people tend not to get? It's about giving back to the fans, the people that have bought in your books for years, right? The turtle stuff, who campaign about the turtles always, bought all the toys, right? And the way I look at it is celebrities, the least they can do is sign something. Kevin Eastman goes above and beyond. And Kevin Eastman's like massive, in my opinion. Well, it's not really opinion. He is bigger than Rob Liefeld. Well, his characters he created. I've been missing a bunch. I've been collect first appearance, more obscure characters like Bangle from Amazing Spider-Man. But who's Bangle? I don't even know who that is. Wow. Okay, so is this your first live? My first live stream? I did one other live stream before. Have any Zap comics? Not at the moment, but I have. Purchased a couple books from you previous. Thanks so much. And now looking to finish my Tales of the Astonished midlife crisis run. Any chance you have 40 or 48 in stock? Please PM me. Let me look at our website. I don't think so. Let's see. Yeah, Tales of Suspense. What are you looking for? 40. We have not what you're looking for. Sorry. But, if we get some in. Eastman sure didn't sign my Turtles book for free. Really? He didn't? Well, I guess it's because we're best friends. Me and Kevin Eastman are best friends. That's why he gave me his gobbledygook personal copies. He didn't. But facts, Teenage Mutant Ninja is huge. They are huge. Thank you. People need to start realizing it. My Coco Erica bought 49,000 comics from books for 27,000 the last day of going out of business sale at a comic shop in Portland, Oregon. The owner's right told him she would divorce him if he didn't sell all the comics. Should have divorced her. Bought a Strange Terrors number 7, St. John publication. Those are pretty rare. Sounds like Frank Miller. Where do you recommend a Canadian buy stocks internationally? I'm Canadian. I have no idea. I don't know your guys' law and stuff like that. I use Ally, A-A-L-L-Y. I don't know the jurisdiction in other countries, though, for that. I don't know about Robinhood. I know a lot of people use that. While it's cool when they do stuff for free, they don't really get royalties for these books. A lot of the time they get paid per book for free, and that's it. Newer contracts do give royalties for trade paperbacks now. Yeah, that's true. Like, I get that. And I totally get that coming from, from that point of, like, a way to make money. But I'll give you a story. Blink-182 growing up was my favorite artist. The reason that and Goo Goo Dolls is the reason why I joined music. I was 16. Me and my best friend scrounged money, and we got tickets to see Goo Goo Dolls, or it's not Blink-182 the first time. We went afterwards. We stayed in line for an hour to get them to sign something. I had nothing, so I literally took off the shirt I was wearing and had them sign my T-shirt because I had no memorabilia. I could not imagine going there and then Blink-182 is like, oh, yeah, I know you already paid for the ticket, and just like you paid for the book, and yeah, but that's gonna be $100 for us to sign this, That was just like as a kid, like what the hell are you supposed to do? Like you don't have money like that, and so the only people that are actually paying the $120 are people who are resellers. So then that just ups the price, and it makes it harder because Rob Liefeld's like, well, these people are just gonna turn around and make a profit. Okay, so who cares? Like, but when you price out so high, Like, sure, you want to put $5 on it, $10, whatever. But you price it so high, you price out like your true fans, like kids and like other people that are like, I have a fixed income. I literally just flew here to a convention hoping to see you, and now I have to put in another paywall. I don't know. To me, that's just like, I don't know. I'm an artist myself, not a very good one. I'm talking about music-wise. I would never do that. And that's why it kind of makes me mad, to be honest. Is like, if someone wanted their picture with me, which I've had people ask for my autographed picture before, sure, 100%. Why not? Like, thank you for actually appreciating my art. That's the least I could do. So, like, that whole thing rubs me the wrong way. But to each their own. Anyone can do whatever they want, but that's just my personal opinion. I would never get anything signed by him, nor would I pay either. I wouldn't even wait. If it's free, I wouldn't wait in line for him, to be honest. I ran into him at Comic-Con, a very small one, like an actual just comics. And he was only interested in buying his own art back. So he went to all these different comic art places and like little booths, and only wanted his own art. And I was like, that's weird. But I guess, like, he probably sold it and regrets it. But, and that's why when his art comes up, it's super expensive, because he literally bought it all. And so it's not out there. So, yeah, like, why the sliding scale thing? It's like a menu. It's like going to McDonald's, like number 1, number 2, number 3, you know, all these kind of things. Like, sure, why don't you give out your signature for free, and then you want like an inscription or like a little Deadpool balloon or all that kind of stuff? Yeah, charge for that or something. Like, all right, any book is $5 for my signature or something like that, you know, whatever, small paywall. And then if you want something extra, then a charge. Sure, by all means, right? That's fine. Any pressers out there I recommend? I don't know. I've never really used any. But yeah, I specifically hate sliding scales of Leafield. Yeah, I know. It's just like, oh, if you have this book, it's this price. If this book is this, I was like, why does it matter? So what does it matter? Pretty soon be like, okay, if you have a 9.8 of New Mutants 98, then it's more expensive than if you have a 9.0. Like, that's what it's going to get to. None on your website. Yeah, I don't have any on the website. I looked. Schomburg Suspense number 3. You and me both. I do not have one. David Heritage. What is your most favorite comic book in your collection? The Gobbledygook. I'm a huge Turtles fan and Hulk fan, but I like my Turtle stuff more than I like my Hulk. Maybe I had a Hulk 1. I don't have a Hulk 1, though. I don't even have 2. I don't even have a 3. I think I might have a 5. Most I ever paid for a Leafield signature was $2, but that was back in the 90s. Todd McFarlane signed most comic books for free. Yeah. So Kevin Eastman at his studio, which is right up the street from me, also has big artists come to his studio and do signings as well. Like Stan Sakai, who did Usagi. Wait, let me say it. Usagi Yojimbo. He was there. I had some signatures from him. He had Freddie Williams, obviously, there. He had Jim Lee there. He had Harambo Romas there. Like, all these people literally and sign everything free. Take pictures. All that stuff. All these huge, huge artists. Scott Williams. Like, all these big people. I think even maybe Mark Bagley was there at one point. All these huge people all signed for free. And they even gave me free comics. They're like, hey, if you don't have a comic, here, take this comic to get it signed. Like, all these huge, huge, huge people would sign and give us stuff for free all the time. And Kevin Eastman didn't pay these people. They did it because they wanted to, like, you know, hang out with Kevin Eastman, and fans would come and ask for signatures. All sorts of stuff. The entire Wildstorm team was there. And yeah, I have to find that comic. It's just like hundreds of artists, all for free, nothing. Gave you comics. You can have him sign. I had him sign some Batman comics that Jim Lee did, you know, when he did the Hush series. Yeah, and so it's like, where does Rob Liefeld get off? He's not even anything close to Jim Lee, like, at all. Like, That's why it just makes me so mad. And it's like, so many people gave me so much like crap, and it's like, well, it's capitalism and all this. I'm like, yeah, I'm not mad at the fact that he's charging money. I'm mad at the fact that he, like, his personality would have him charge money. Like, his, like, to me, that's just like, why would you do that? Like, I wouldn't rip off like a kid, you know, like you're not gonna steal candy from a baby, like even though you could, like that's fine or whatever. I'm stealing. That's stealing. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but like morally, that's what it is. Morally, I have a problem with it because I don't think you should do it morally, especially when a lot of big artists do it for free. So yeah, that's my take. If you were gonna charge though, it's like an exuberant amount, like he does, then you should maybe go to some of the charity because he doesn't need the money. He started Image. Are you kidding me? Unless he swindled all his money away on drugs and hookers, then he doesn't need the money. Like, that makes no sense. I mean, he could have lost it all, I guess, but I mean, he started Image Comics in the 90s when he was like massively popular. Frankie. I wonder sometimes if these people truly are loyal fans. Sure, they draw and write comics, but when you have a solid fan base and put your signature sign at 100 above that, stone cold. Yeah, exactly. You know, a true fan, like, they just want to meet you, and a signature is like the least you could do. I even see some people charge for taking a picture. I'm like, what? Like, I mean, I get it. The people that are like big celebrities, you're walking through and people are, I mean, you wouldn't charge them, but it's like, you don't want to take pictures. You're like, dude, I'm with my family. I'm trying to like, eat at the grocery store. Like, leave me alone. I get that, right? That makes sense, right? I would never do that, but I get that. But someone you go to a convention, go to a signing, and someone wants to take a picture, oh, that's $5. It's like, really? So you have to take it from far away. Lou Ferrigno was like that. The Hulk. Literally, he's like, he's like, oh, I can have a picture with you. And I was at his booth. No one was else there. And he's like, oh, it's $5 to take a picture with me. And I'm like, okay, can I just take a picture of you then? I don't have to be in it. He's like, no, it's $5. So then I walked out like further away and went click. So I don't get that. It's like, dude, like, come on. Like, this is coming from like my perspective, like morally, that this seems so weird. Have you ever seen how much Jim Lee is charging for 1 second scribble? I used to through CGC robbery. I don't know. He charged me nothing. So, I mean, maybe through CGC. I remember as a kid, I used to send, collect basketball cards, get them in, and I would find the team's address, mailing address, and I would send my card to them, like Karl Malone, John Stockton, all that kind of stuff, and they would send the card back signed for free. All you have to do is have an extra envelope in there, return postage. I send it. Sometimes they would send back like their photos and the card signed, all for free. I mean, I grew up in a different era, so maybe I'm just old school. Yeah, I did announce the winner. It was Todd Pikachu. Out of money sometimes. Who was that? What do you think about the drop in Hulk 180 price at the Heritage auction yesterday? Are they going into a price correction phase? Certain books that went up a lot are coming back down. They won't go down to like levels they were a year or two ago, but they'll come down a little bit. You can't go up forever. Nothing gold can stay. It's from The Outsiders, but it's probably from a poem. And it's also in a song by New Found Glory. Yeah, so, I mean, it'll go back up. I'm not worried about old Wolverine. What do they call him? They call Iron Man Buckethead? No. What do they call him? Now I'm blanking on all the old nicknames they used to call. Like Spider-Man's Webhead. Iron Man What's Iron Man? What is Wolverine? What's like his little nickname? Claws? I don't know. um, I'd give my kidney. You have two of them, so to get Stan Sakai to sign my Albedo twos. You have Albedo twos. I have one Albedo two, which I got from Steve Galacci, who created Albedo. Yeah, that was kind of like I'm talking to Brian Daniel, where he says bad idea to get the current hot spec book graded considering CGC turnaround times, and that was like when I did my 5 books that are dropping in price, like the video like on Sunday. That was kind of like my point with the Avengers 48 and 47. First Dane, blanking on his last name, Black Knight. Um, uh, by the time you get them in and you send it, you got it with 6 months. So we're in July. So 6 months from now, you're looking at like January at the soonest, right? And then their CGC times will change. So you're probably looking at like next July that you'll get them back. And by then the movie will come out. And since it's so tied, like comics are so tied to like hype in movies, by the time you get your Avengers 48 in and then you send it off, the movie will already come and gone. And you're taking that risk that Jon Snow. I don't know who the actor is. I don't watch Game of Thrones, so everyone keeps on saying, "Oh, he's the Game of Thrones person." I'm like, I never watched it. You have to hope the Eternals does good. One reason I don't think the Eternals will do good is because Kevin Feige came out and said it's going to win an Oscar for Best Picture. I'm like, okay, no comic film has ever done that. I don't even think any comic film has ever nominated. So by you saying that just means that it's probably going to be crappy and you're hoping people will turn out. I haven't heard good things from people who've watched the trailer, like as far as like peak interest, like just from people who watched it and myself personally. So I'm not confident that the movie will do good. So you have that working against it. But another thing is, even if the movie did do well, you have to have the Black Knight be the standout character. He has to be like someone that's just like, oh my gosh, he's the greatest part of the movie, right? You know, it's like most people that I've talked to like the Red Guardsman or Guardian. I can't remember his name. Played by David Arbor in Black Widow. Like a lot of people have positive things to say about him, and then Black Widow's sister. But no one really has anything positive to say about Taskmaster. So, right? What if the Black Knight turns out to be like a Taskmaster, right? Where no one has anything positive to say, and he's not the standout character. He's actually whatever. So the movie has to be great, and he has to be a standout character. Those two things I just think are working against the character as a whole. And so to me, it's if you get a good deal, you get a good deal, then get it. Don't ever pass up a good deal. But that is kind of like my thought process of Avengers 47, 48. So who knows, though? I could be completely wrong. All right. How rare are St. John publications? They're pretty rare, but the interesting thing about them is they're made on pretty cheap paper, so they didn't survive. Jerry Rind, Paramount, sent her a Borg Cube Star Trek card. She sent it back, a thank you note, and a signed photo. Haha, I was 12. That's awesome. 7 of 9, right? I think that was him. I'm more of a Generations guy. You know what's funny is my parents would watch Generations. That was like their show that they watched. And it's on Netflix, and I recently started watching them. And I never really watched it that much as a kid, but I was like, that show's pretty good. Like, yeah, the graphics is cheesy, the costumes are kind of cheesy, right? But as far as story, characters, and stuff like that, it's pretty good. Nothing Gold Can Stay by Robert Frost is a poem. Thank you. I got the guy from the TV show What You're Talking About Wills to send him a signed photo. Different strokes. Yes, different strokes. Shellhead. That's what it was. Why did I say Buckethead? Red Guardian was hilarious. I hope they write him in the new Cap movie. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about, right? You have a character that people are like, he's just gonna be a throwaway character, but it turns out people like love him or something like that, and then they're like, oh, let's include him more. I mean, I thought he was pretty funny too. Who won? Who won? Todd won. Greta Van Fleet. I have not the slightest idea who that is. Oh, it's a band. I have not heard them, but I'll check them out. A rock band from 2012. I'll check them out. Not now, but I wasn't wearing my glasses. Oh man, just saw the good news. Thanks for the awesome book, Dave. Oh, is that you? Cool. Yeah, no problem. Congrats. And thank you. I think a big difference is Black Knight is a is a big casting, so I doubt he'll be misused like Taskmaster. That is true. That is true. But then again, you have to have fans and people connect with them, and the movie has to be good. Like, those are the two things. I could be dead wrong, right? I'm just, like I said, I just don't want to buy books now, have to send them off to CGC, and then by the time I get them back, and then it's like, oh no, you lost, right? I mean, you could buy the book now, and I bet it will go up a little bit as it gets closer, and he's more featured in the trailers or in the movie at all. I mean, where was he? I don't even know who was really featured. Is this like people sitting around talking and stuff? Like, so if you bought one that's already graded, like, I think I even mentioned in the video, like, I could see like a 10-20% increase in it. But then again, Quinn, snoring. But then again, it's like you lose 15% to eBay fees. So, like, sorry, my dogs are sleepy and snoring. So yeah, so it's kind of like, okay, if I buy one, yeah, I can see a 10-20% uptick as the movie gets closer, but then I have to lose 15% to like final value fees, payment fees, listing fees, all that other stuff. So it's like kind of ends up being a wash. Yeah, but then with the casting, I'm talking to Rev20. I mean, Brie Larson was cast as Captain Marvel, and she won an Oscar before Captain Marvel. And I mean, she's not the most well received. So you have super good points, but Black Knight is only teasing the Eternals. You should watch Game of Thrones. My take on Game of Thrones. They're an hour each. I don't know how many episodes there are. There's 8 seasons. I think the total is like, let's see, how many hours? How many hours of Game of Thrones? 64 hours of Game of Thrones. I'll have to watch the whole thing. I don't have that kind of time. Or time that I want to invest in something that I'm not really jazzed about. So I never watched it. I know everyone told me I'm crazy and I should watch it, but it's just not my thing. And I'm sure it's great. Everyone's like, oh, it's the best ever event. I'm sure it's amazing. I'm sure it is. But I just don't want to invest that time. Like, the only show that I actually watch is Rick and Morty. I watched Silicon Valley. I rewatched all that because I actually like that show. But like current shows, Rick and Morty and Loki. Those are the only shows that I'm watching. I love Rick and Morty. It's amazing. Loki's actually I like. I didn't like the first episode, but but then they all came out and I binged them all except the latest one that hasn't come out yet. And I was like, oh, that's pretty good. I like it. I like it better than Captain America and the Winter Soldier, and I like it better than WandaVision, I think. Yeah, WandaVision was just WandaVision kind of got boring. Wolvie Knucklehead. Interesting. All right, I didn't know they printed the cheaper paper. I got. I'm late, but it should cover the What If trailer. Oh yeah. I'm super excited for What If. I'm a little iffy on the art personally. It's that like 3D, 2D kind of look, which I'm like, okay. I really love like more drawn stuff, but the art style is like whatever. But I'm excited for it. Yeah, the trailer for the Eternals. Aaron Quinn. My dog's name is Quinn. Um, she's the one snoring. There she is. um, yeah. But yeah, I didn't understand the trailer. They had like a joke, but I'm like, well, what? I mean, I know it's just the first trailer, so we'll get more like of what's gonna happen. So, I'm definitely gonna see it, and in theaters. But yeah, Black Widow was not great. I was kind of disappointed. Good action, but it was awkward and unfunny at times. It was cheesy. One sister had a Russian accent, the other one sounds like a Valley girl. Yeah, they've tried to make the two sisters like have the sisterly bond, but I'm like, you guys were like 4 and like 7 or something like that when you last saw each other. Like you're not gonna like you're barely gonna remember who the other person is. Like you're not gonna have a sisterly bond. I'm sorry, you just won't. It'll be like two strangers meeting up for the first time. Finding the Edgar Church collection. I know all about that. The Mile High collection. I'll probably do a video on it. But yeah, that's a crazy collection. Game of Thrones is worth it. That's what everyone says. I know. But like I said, I don't have the time, and I'd rather just if I watch it and I like it, then I'm into it. Then I have to watch the whole thing, and I just don't want to invest the time. Heading to bed. Thanks for doing all. See you, Brian Daniel. Black Widow is like the middle tier Marvel movie. Yep, that's what I said. I said I gave it a 6 out of 10 because Marvel movies are above most movies, but I said it was below average Marvel movie. I think Captain Marvel is probably going to come off better or more likable once paired with Monica and Kamala. Monica Rambeau, I liked her in WandaVision. I think that's who you're talking about. Kamala, I don't know. I haven't seen her on screen. I think her TV show comes out in like later this year or something like that. I saw a costume, a picture of it. We'll see. Last scenes were not great, but still 10 times better than most the crap. Oh, Game of Thrones you're talking about. Yeah, I know people really like that. Brie was misdirected, I think. She was told to play Cap nearly deadpan because they were supposed to drill emotion out of her, then delete the scenes, clarify the, but it wasn't in the final. Yeah, I don't know. She's like, I think. So there's a guy named Max Landis who has a YouTube channel. He's the son of a famous director and writer, and he also writes and directs stuff. I think he had something to do with Chronicle, that movie that was found footage. I think something like that. Anyways, he had a video the other day talking about Black Widow and how she never got to be what he said sexy. And basically every person that has their own movie, like Iron Man, Thor, all that stuff, they all get their chance to be like sexy because that's part of a human nature. Don't worry, I'm going somewhere with this tangent. And like Chris Hemsworth, Thor, right? There's not a movie where he doesn't have his shirt off, right? And that's fine, right? Even Robert Downey Jr. was all six-packed up and shirt off at one point. And even, Paul Rudd was all six-packed up. I mean, what's the guy? He was in Silicon Valley. He's in The Eternals. He's the Pakistani. Yeah, I think he's Pakistani. I forget his name. But he's all shredded and everything like that. And he has pictures of his shirt off, right? So it's like, for some reason, when it comes to like women leads, it's like they don't know how to James Bond them, right? The James Bond is always sleeping around with like one or two hot girls or something like that to, given like this, because sex appeal is also part of human nature. And this is what that guy was talking about. And it's almost like they're afraid to do certain things because they don't want to be like, oh, we don't want to over-sexualize a woman. But it's like you over-sexualize guys nonstop in superhero films. What's the difference? Who cares? And so they purposely try to put them in this weird box. Like That's why Wonder Woman 1 worked so well. I mean, she banged Steve Trevor. So, she got a chance. And, I mean, her costume's kind of sexy to begin with. I mean, she's mostly naked. So it's like sometimes you'll get these directors and they're afraid to like, oh, I don't want to do this with the character because over sexualization and all the everything, and the whole internet. It's like, oh, you over sexualize this person and blah, blah. And so they like make women like worse. And they're like, oh, we don't want to make her smile too much because then or this or that. And so that's what like Brie Larson, like barely ever smile. And that's where people, it's like, dude, just stop. Just make the characters just like fun, having a good time, like able to like, they like try too hard to make the woman like strong and like, and it's just like, dude, just have some fun with the character. Like, it's like Chris Pratt's character, Chris Hemsworth's character, even Chris Evans. Chris Evans, Captain America is supposed to be like this stoic, smart. He cracks jokes and he has like some fun and he smiles and stuff like that. He doesn't take himself too serious. Like same with Chris Hemsworth. He's supposed to be like the god of thunder and all this kind of stuff. But like Thor doesn't take himself too serious all the time. He cracks jokes. And he also cracks jokes at his own expense. Like the audience laughs at him and with him. Obviously Star-Lord is like the epitome of that. Like where you're laughing mostly at him, but with him. But then when people do that, when you laugh with and at them, you create this bond because you only have 2 hours to create a bond with this character. And so you create an emotional connection with that character. You're like, oh, this guy's funny. This person's funny. And with like women characters, it's like for some reason, they're afraid to do that because they think they have to fit in this box. And they're like, oh, we got to make them, we can't over sexualize. We can't overdo this. We can't do that. And it's just like, we can't make them the butt of a joke. It's like, oh my God. It's just like, so I feel like it's a lot of times they do that, with women characters for some reason. And it's just like, just chill. Like, like Sigourney Weaver in Aliens. She got sexualized. No one cared. Like, it was like, cool. Like, she's an awesome character. I mean, she's down in like her little underwear. Hot dog, not hot dog. Classic. I just watched all those. That to me is a funny show. I like that show. Always Blue. John Actor is a great actor. What else has he done besides Game of Thrones is a great thing. You watch it. Silicon is awesome. Once you get past episode 3 and Guardians, you're hooked. Yeah, see, I just don't want to get hooked. Any thoughts on if the zombies What If will spike the Ultimate Fantasy 4? Yes, it will. What If art reminds me of the animation of Hot Wheels movie. Hot Wheels movie. I didn't even know they made a Hot Wheels movie. That is Napoleon painting. It is. Oh my God, I want this book in my collection. Congrats to the winner. Black Widow was worse than WandaVision. I don't know. Yeah, he wrote Chronicle. Yeah. I follow him on YouTube. He has some crazy ideas about superhero stuff, but I mean, it's nice to hear like a Hollywood screenwriter's point of view of superhero stuff. So that's why I like Greta Van Vander's marriage to Led Zeppelin and Rush. Oh, is a marriage of Led Zeppelin and Rush. That's married to Led Zeppelin. Kamalia Nanjiani. I'm butchering that name. I don't know. Black Widow's biggest fighting move is wrapping legs all over people. Did she do it in that movie? I thought she tried to do it against Taskmaster, and Taskmaster did it back, and she didn't get to do it. But I know that was her move then. But still, that's an actual move in the UFC. Like, they wrap their legs around your neck, and they break your arm. So, I mean, that is a move. And then you knock people out with that move. So, it's an actual move. She was definitely sexy in Iron Man 2, but then she got less and less. Not as she got Scarlett Johansson got less pretty, because I still think she's really hot. I think these less sexualized her. Which they even said that in an interview. She's like, yeah, I'm not going to do that anymore. And they talked about Iron Man 2, how she's like that. And I'm glad the character moved away from that. And I'm like, you are a spy. I mean, people expect spies to use seductive sexual seduction to get what they want. That's what James Bond does all the time. That's why he's a very likable character, because he's relatable, and and people can like fantasize like, oh, that's like how probably a human would act. And James Bond's been around since like the 60s. I think Daniel Craig's, this is the last one. I mean, I haven't seen it since a while, but Wonder Woman is the hottest DC superhero. I think I agree. I'm just trying to think. Well, it depends who draws them. Or unless you're talking about the actress, Gal Gadot. But yes, she is sexy. Foss cartoon coming soon by Vigil, right? Vigil. What is his name? Tim Vigil. Vigil. All right, is that what you're talking about? Faust is also has to do with like the devil and stuff like that. It's an old folklore tale. He's shredded now. Yeah, Kumail is shredded now. Yeah, and he has his shirt off, and that's his promo with people's, and then like it's like, oh yay, and I'm like, yeah, like you're a superhero. That's what they're supposed to look like, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy you got in shape. That's awesome, and yeah, whatever. Take your shirt off. Be proud of it. It'd be interesting to see how they handle She-Hulk. Well, here's the thing with She-Hulk. She's always She-Hulk. She's not Bruce Banner turning into Hulk. So are they just going to paint the actress green? Because I don't believe they could make a whole TV show with her constantly CGI'd. They won't have the budget for that. And She-Hulk is hot, too. I mean, most comic characters are hot. So, hey, now, Wonder Woman banged Steve Trevor in 1984. She did. But it wasn't. Dude, that is true. She did. She did bang the other guy in someone else's body. She did. I mean, she still had her sexy costume on, I think. I can't remember that. I hated that movie. It's so bad. But Black Widow is actually a boring character in general. There's a reason Marvel never really could get Black Widow's solo series going for years and years and years. The character existed. I mean, it just, like, with all characters, though, it's not the character that's boring. It's the person that writes them that's boring. And they don't know how to write them. I mean, Deadpool wasn't his snarky self, I believe, in the beginning. I think that was an iteration of later years, becoming who he is now. I mean, Spider-Man was pretty much Spider-Man from the get-go. But a lot of characters, it just takes the right writer to really find their footing with such a character. So, 100% hope we get Howard the Duck seeking asylum in She-Hulk. Howard has been a long history of Shulky. I don't know what they're going to do with Howard the Duck. I just can't see that as going anywhere, because they came out with that movie in the 80s. He was in Guardians. We'll see. Maybe it's a guy in a costume again. She throws Taskmaster back in the prison room with that move. No. That's the girl from The Mummy. The one who is fake married to the Red Guardsman or Guardian. Because the Red Guardian's fighting and getting his butt kicked. And then the older Black Widow comes in. I forget his name. Rachel Weisz or something like that is the actress's name. And she throws Taskmaster in there. Then Scarlett Johansson falls through the floor and releases Taskmaster. And then the ship breaks. Sorry, these are spoilers. And by the way, that end fight scene with Taskmaster, terrible. It's like they should have had all of them combined forces, all the Black Widow, not the Black Widows, but the family combined forces, because it was like very lackluster. I was like, what? How do you get the advantage over Taskmaster pretty much instantly? Sorry, the spoilers. Jim Morrison was a spy in the House of Love. Jim Morrison, The Doors? The guy from The Doors? Wonder Woman's the dumbest comic character. The Invisible Jet. Yeah, well, they don't have the Invisible. Even as a kid, I realized how stupid the character was. Well, all that stuff is like Greek mythology, like items that you'd see in like a video game. The Invisible Jet, a little weird, but I like Wonder Woman. Zatanna is, yes, that's right. She is very, very hot. I like, black hair, blue eyes. Those are cool. But Zatanna has that, and Wonder Woman has that. I guess depending on who draws her. But yeah, Zatanna. Just my opinion as a queer woman. Yeah, I would agree. Zatanna is probably one of the hottest. Tim Vigil, David Quinn. Hey, Quinn. Howard the Duck is in the What If trailer. Yep, that's true. Linda Carter was hot. She's got black hair and blue eyes. Deadpool is pretty boring early on. Took a while to make him funny and interesting. Yeah, exactly. That's how I kind of remembered it. I mean, obviously I haven't read those books in a while. I thought he was a straight up Rob Liefeld didn't make him funny. That's what, at least from what I know, is Rob Liefeld wasn't the one that made him funny. It was actually other artists and writers that made him funny. And Rob Liefeld stole Deadpool. He's Deathstroke. That's all he is. He's a parody of Deathstroke. That gap. Wow. That gap. The Merc with the mouth. I waited on Linda Carter and told her she looked like Linda Carter. Oh, waited. I thought you were like waiting in line. Waited. That's cool. That's funny. She was in the latest Wonder Woman. You're talking about being a spy earlier. I saw Black Widow. It had nothing to do with making anyone excited about them. Like that Shang-Chi about Tim McGuffin's no master. I'm excited for Shang-Chi. I am. I'm really excited. I think it looks cool. I mean, the cool thing is I don't know much about the character, so going in, it's quite cool. But yeah, I'm going to leave it here. It is 9:30. I'm going to make dinner. Yes, I eat super late. I'm going to make dinner, work on a couple songs. Thanks for everyone that was in this chat for an hour and a half. My God, I literally was going to just do a half hour. I told myself only a half hour. It's been an hour and a half. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so Wade Wilson, Slade Wilson, yep. Separate characters, yeah, I know. But thank you for everyone joining, and thank you for everyone that voted. It means a lot. Everyone have a good night.